Welcome everyone. Thanks for coming back to our second video here with Farshad. We're going to be doing a double view update. So Farshad, how are you?
Hi, Jason. Good. How are you?
I'm good. Everyone loves a Monday. So I figured maybe a great place to start is with a little bit of background on how you got the land. How did you pick the land Doubleview's sitting on, and kind of chat about that process, and we'll walk people through what happened in the past on the property, what you guys have done, some of the results, and then we'll get into where things are currently, how you think the results are going to come out, and then we'll chat about what could be potential next steps, and we'll go from there.
Sure.
Okay, so yes, awesome.
I am a geologist, as you know it. I've been in the mining industry for more than 25 years, and my job has been finding projects. So back in 2003-ish, I started looking for my own projects. 2005, I did a study on copper porphyries.
Oh.
And looking at copper and gold, because I just wanted to stay in that realm and area. Porphyries are important projects. They are very large in size and pricey to move them forward, of course. And it takes several years and to develop them. That the risk is relatively lower than gold vein projects, and it's much comfortable to me to work on them. So what I did, I started with my backyard in British Columbia. I looked at all the porphyry occurrences throughout BC, and I picked up about 30 to 40 projects and started working slowly on them. There was one project in particular, which was the Hat project, was taken by someone. I didn't know at the time who he was, but then later on I found out he's my own geologist. And what I did is I asked him to give me the data and looked at it. It had lots of surface sampling, rock sampling, lots of smoke.
Ooh.
Lots of smoke. And it had IP. I was really interested to get that, because I found out the risk is a lot lower than the other projects that even I had at the time. And so I went along, and we did a very favorable deal with the geologist, very low amount to pay 1 million shares and $250,000 cash and $1 million work program. Thank God we have done all of those. Now we own 100% of the project. Doubleview owns 100% of the project. At the beginning, it was really hard to raise money on gold and copper. I was specifically focused on this, and I saw the risk very low.
Yeah.
Very beginning, I couldn't raise money because the market cap was low, and also market wasn't good for projects like this and this very large. So I had to mortgage my own house to do that. And I knew there was risk involved, and I was well aware of it. But at the same time, I looked at the project and I said, this is a very large opportunity, and it doesn't come along very often. So we spent the money in 2014, and we had the discovery. It was the beginning of our job. Since then, gradually I raised money, drilled the project, raised money, drilled the project. Every time we drilled the project, we increased our value in the project. Every time we did 5 more holes, I had at least a couple of 3 holes or 4 holes, sometimes all, to be better than anything that previously we have announced. Since then, I was on the hunt to bring a major mining company to be partner with us.
Yeah.
Hot Bay came along with several other major mining companies. I accepted Hot Bay's offer to work with us. And they came in and they said they're going to put $40 million on the project and take it to feasibility study. It's public knowledge. They couldn't continue with exploration, not only on ours, but on the other projects that they had. And we had to go on our own ways.
Why do you think that? Just curious. Why do you think they stopped?
Hot Bay had another project, and still they have it, but they haven't been able to continue on that. They thought they have to save all the money that they have, don't put it on exploration, and go to the mining of their own project.
Right.
And that was the cause of it, as I see it. But for us, it was a great opportunity. They spent $1.2 million on the project just for the IP, 3D IP. They put state-of-the-art work on the project. I'm very pleased with their technical abilities, and we thought, okay, so we better go and raise money and drill it ourselves and look at those drill targets in 3D IP to see if they work. And believe it or not, we announced it, and they did work. We haven't announced all the results, but I'm very pleased with that.
So you partnered with these guys. They did a bunch of work, and then they left. I mean, I guess that kind of sounds like a great deal.
It was a great deal. I couldn't hire these people, all of the expertise that they brought to the table, with $2.5 million. Now you can tell how much the value in there was more than $2.5 million once they left.
That's amazing. Oh, it's fantastic. I guess let's also take it one little step backwards. You're talking about porphyries versus veins, and saying risk is low, relatively speaking. Do we want to kind of chat a little bit more on why that is? I know maybe we want to chat about porphyries. Obviously you're looking at really land that can become a real mine. So maybe let's chat a little bit on what makes the risk of a porphyry lower than a gold vein project. For potential people that will be watching that aren't familiar with mining as much as others.
Yes. So porphyries, when you talk about porphyries, there are several types, and they come in copper, gold, copper, silver, sometimes only copper, sometimes copper and molybdenum, or a combination of all above. And the specific criteria of what these projects are that they are very large in size. For instance, Grasberg is one of the largest ones. It's 8.5 kilometers deep, 22,000 people working down there. And if you want to know the magnitude of this project, when the guys are going down, they have churches, they have shops down.
The city underground.
Below, yes. And there's a town built up for 26,000 people just for that mine. It tells you how big they can be. Very, very large and lucrative. Very, very lucrative. And this project, why the risk is lower? The risk is lower because you're not looking for a narrow vein of 1 meter or 2 meters. And you can easily miss that drill hole. Our job right now is to increase the volume and look at different aspects of this. And at some point, the volume is so large that it makes it economic. And we have to, at the time, we have to do resource calculation, of course, and metallurgical work and all the other things associated with it, environmental work, to really make a book for it. But there are multi-billion-dollar assets that making large deposits in the world. Lots of mining companies, major mining companies, assets are only in that realm, in this realm, and they really are after it. In the past several years that I'm aware of, we rarely had any copper porphyries or copper gold porphyries in the world discovered like fresh to move to production.
Mm.
And our project is copper gold or gold copper. They're equivalent in the magnitude, and we have silver, cobalt in there too. And if you want to know it, for instance, some of these deposits, they have 40 million ounces gold only. It tells you how big they can be and
Yeah.
how large they can be. We're just, we have put 34 holes into it. We've been really successful throughout the years. And I see it to be one of the most important deposits in BC, Canada, or even North America. We don't know yet what the magnitude is.
That's amazing. So yeah, I mean, hey, so I guess, you're leading into it already. So like kind of what's next? What's next for Doubleview? Obviously, you expect that there are going to be some great results coming. And then, what are the next steps after that? And, using, maybe past experience, you can talk about other mines you've seen and how they went through the process of, if the results are good, well, what's the next step?
I expect the results to be really good. And because what we've seen, we have announced it, that we have seen mineralization.
Wow.
And the next step is for us to announce the results. Once the results are out, we can take a look at them to see how large, how beautiful they are. I expect good results to come out. And then from there on, we are right now planning the 2020 program and start drilling again, expand this resource. This company is made for investors who can stay in 2 years on this project. And in the second year, I expect to see we are at a level to do a resource calculation. And from there are several things in front of us. We have one of our directors is a wealthy man. He loves to put the project into production ourselves. And this is one of the lines that we have ahead of ourselves. And I believe we should follow really on that and see where we're going. I am a very large shareholder in the company. I'm very, very large shareholder of the company. I want the best for the company because I'm in it.
Of course, you got it just as much to gain as everyone else, and that's awesome. If not more. So that's fantastic. So next steps, I guess, are hey, we're gonna see the results pretty soon, and then we'll be going from there. Obviously, we're gonna continue to do videos, keep updating people, and I'm sure you'll get a ton of other interests. And who knows the doors that open, in 3, 4, 6 months, right? If results really are fantastic, we'll get to see who comes to the doorstep and who wants to get involved with you, right? So that'll be a good exciting part as well.
Yes, I'm looking forward to 2020. I believe gold, copper, and the other commodities are gonna exceptionally do well. It's about 10 years past due since we had anything in this realm, and I believe this cycle is going to be the largest cycle that we've seen in gold, copper, and silver.
Yeah, no, I agree for sure. I mean, obviously, you look how long this upward trend has been going, and then also, you got to think about, well, if we had a long trend, again, of growth, we expect to have a longer trend of precious metals and minerals here, right? And, mining is definitely becoming sexier. You see it every day. More people getting interested in, more interested. You're even seeing younger people start to look at it too, which is, of course, awesome. I think that industry was missing out on a lot of younger people because there was just more exciting things at the time. You had crypto, you had marijuana, but now, there's not really many things that are distracting them. And, especially when gold's been doing great over the past couple months, we expect obviously that more investors will show interest. So no, I agree with you. I think we're definitely on the right path, and this is a great time to get involved in mining. We would think, and it sounds like it's also a great time to get involved in Doubleview.
Absolutely. We didn't have, our stock price is showing that what we have done, we should be trading a lot higher. And the other thing that coming across my desk right nowadays, uh, in the past month and a half, we've had many major mining companies kicking at our door and saying, we're not going to have the results. We want to have a look. They want to come in and let's see. I see Doubleview's future very bright. I see it very, very bright for myself and all the shareholders and new shareholders that are coming on.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So, to recap, next steps are we're going to see some results here soon, and we'll go from there.
Absolutely. Yes.
All right.
Looking forward to it.
Awesome. Anything you want to say before we end things?
People, if they have questions, they can phone our office, myself. They can go to our website. My email is farshad@doubleview.ca, farshad@doubleview.ca. They can send me an email. I get on the phone every time.
Yeah, we'll make sure we'll add it to the description. They can also join the Telegram, ask questions there, see what other investors are saying, and get involved in many different ways. I think that's also something awesome. Not many mining companies at all are very interactive with shareholders. A lot of them are kind of left in the dark. We're surprising you, we have an update. Obviously we want to be taking a more transparent approach, and we, would welcome people to join Telegram and, of course, email you, interact with the team, and we'll go from there.
Absolutely.
All righty. Well, awesome. Thanks, Farshad. I know you have a busy week, so I'll leave you to it, and we'll chat next week.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Jason, for having me here.